Hyperchange? Welcome to a live stream. I'm here in a random corner of the Reno Tahoe airport parking lot. And I just had an exclusive tour of the Tesla Gigafactory, so wanted to go live, just get down most of my thoughts. I'm gonna make another video, a bunch more content that's more concretely laid out and organized, but I want to just go live and just kind of get everything out of my brain. Of course, I'm not allowed to film at the Gigafactory, take pictures, do any of that stuff, so I couldn't get any footage, but I did have the tour with Martin, who is the head of IR, spent probably 4 hours at the Gigafactory, just learning everything about what goes on there. And so let me break it down for you. I'm just kind of biding my time a little bit because I know more people are going to join, and I know the delivery numbers from Tesla came out as well. I can address that real quick. Vincent, what up? Tesla delivered 97,000 cars this quarter. Great quarter, record deliveries, a little bit below where the street was estimating, but only because the street massively revised their estimates after that Elon leaked email. So I thought the results were amazing. I mean, frankly, I'm less concerned about the quarter to quarter. You know, is it 97, 98, 102? How many thousand deliveries did Tesla do? I think it matters less. You know, I'm a long-term investor, so today I spent, you know, at the Gigafactory thinking way more about the technology that Tesla's building, the direction that it's headed, than the actual deliveries they did. So anyway, it looks like enough people are here in the live stream, so I'm just going to start telling you guys about what I thought of the Gigafactory. So I'm here in Reno, which is, the Gigafactory is technically located in Sparks, Nevada, which is about 20 minutes outside of Reno, 25 minutes. So you fly into Reno, drove through these crazy like hills, like literally looks like the straight up Wild West. And then you kind of go around this corner on this street called Electric Avenue, and you see the Gigafactory. Like, it is absolutely massive. It's like, they say it's going to be one of the largest buildings in the world when it's complete, but I mean, it's just a different level to see it. And I know it looks flat, like it's not that tall, but it's 4 levels high. And actually, when I go into I went into the entrance in the lobby, there's like levels above me, even though the ceiling's super high, where I can hear all this construction, all this crazy stuff going on. So the Gigafactory is about 1/3 complete right now. Started construction in 2014. 2/3 of the footprint of that 1/3 that's complete is actually owned by Panasonic. So the Gigafactory is kind of a unique situation, a new thing for both Tesla and Panasonic, in that it's a joint venture between the two companies. Tesla actually owns the entire property in the building, but they lease land to Panasonic. Panasonic then brings in their own equipment. They actually own the equipment that they put on that land that they're leasing from Tesla. And so you basically have these two parts of the facility. And Tesla, I mean, this might be a little bit of a reiteration for those who know, but they build their batteries at the Gigafactory, the actual cells and the battery packs, and then they ship those battery packs to Fremont, California, where they actually build the cars. This is all about the batteries. So the half that Panasonic does of the Gigafactory is building these actual cells. I'm sure you've seen them, those silver tubes, the 2170 tubes, that are these silver cells. And basically what they are is they basically look like double or triple A batteries that would be in your phone or remote. And that's actually a pretty accurate analysis because Tesla is very unique. You know, their lithium ion battery technology is very new. This is what CTO JB Straubel and Elon Musk did that was really pioneering this wave of high energy density and high efficiency lithium ion EVs, was developing a new type of battery pack based on these like smaller laptop batteries, and they're basically, or electronics batteries, and they're basically like, why don't we put thousands of these into one massive battery pack, and then it can power a whole car. And so that's a totally different way than previous electric vehicles have been built with lead acid batteries. And so when you think about that, that brings up a whole host of new challenges, because now you have to have a system where not only are you building those little cells, but you have to have a system where you squeeze them into a massive battery pack. So in your Model 3, your Model S and X, there's about 4,000 of these little cylindrical tubes in that huge skateboard that comprise the battery. And so Panasonic basically takes in all these raw materials, and then it's pretty complicated, but kind of combines them all and spits out these little cells. And so Panasonic essentially has a product, which is the 2170 cells, and is spitting out, I think they said 1 car every 2 minutes. They have capacity to do about 500,000 cars a year, and that's the 2170 cells. So that's just 3 in Y. But so Panasonic spits out these cells. That's half the factory. Then you get Tesla, who starts basically taking these little tubular cells and combining them into these huge battery packs. Sorry, overexposed. I'm sorry, I'm doing my best on the camera and the lighting here. I'm going to make a much more better produced video that I'm going to upload on the channel, so please bear with me. Sorry if it's like the brightness is going in and out. I'm doing my best. But anyway, so Tesla gets these the cells, and then they combine them into the pack. And I think what was most fascinating here is that Tesla, the layers of automation in the pack are unbelievable, or like the manufacturing in the automation in the manufacturing process. So they have 3 or 4 different lines that are producing these, and the first 2 were manual, and the third one that I saw was actually developed with Groman Engineering's technology. So Groman is a robotic basically systems integrator that Tesla acquired a couple years ago. It's a German company, very advanced robotic machines that has allowed them to automate a significant amount of production. And so the biggest thing they gave me this example is like the squish. So you have all these little lines of cells, and basically what the Groman robot does that removed a huge step of manual process is squish all of these like tubes together. And so anyway, long story short, I think what I was most impressed with was every single line that I'm looking on, Tesla keeps building new production lines, and each one of these lines is better. The process has improved. And so when you think about what they're doing in China, it's really about the pace of innovation. I mean, I've talked about this so many times, but it's so true, and I can't stress it enough that like Tesla has this unique mentality of constantly reinventing and rethinking every single facet of their technology. And so Martin from IR gave this amazing example of like was Toyota so much better than these traditional European and American OEMs in building cars, because they focus on the machine that builds the machine. This idea that the factory is constantly in a state of improvement, and that's where they should be focusing their R&D efforts. That's exactly what Tesla does. That's why they're bringing this all in-house is so important. And a lot of people say, and I asked Martin this sort of like a devil's advocate question, like, is the Gigafactory a crutch that you have this huge asset that you have all this capex that you put into? Wouldn't it be better to like get suppliers and bid them off of each other? Martin's like, look, the real trouble is, look at the ramp that we've had for any other electric vehicle. They have an extremely difficult time ramping production. Everyone gives Tesla so much crap for how long it took them to ramp Model 3, 0 to 200,000 units, 300,000 units a year in just 2 years. It took the Prius 10 years to do that. And the reason why Tesla was able to ramp this so quickly is because they actually have the supply of battery packs. And so to me, that's the thing that's never been done before, is combining all these little tiny tubes into a battery. And there's so many nuances that goes in there. There's a cooling tube that has to be funneled in between all these batteries that requires robotic placement. Then you also need this other robot that, because there's 4,000 of these little wires, that precisely connects exactly all of these little cells. And so, side note, the robot that is actually placing the wires in all these little cells and connecting them looks exactly like the robot that Neuralink is using to implant your electrodes into your brain. So I thought that was, I don't know if there's some synergies there, but I thought that was interesting. And so the current capacity of the Gigafactory is they're targeting 35 gigawatt hours by the end of this year, which is enough to build battery packs for about 500,000 cars for Model 3 and Model Y. And yeah, so that's my kind of, I just kind of wanted to blast all my thoughts on Hyperchange. Sorry, the brightness is crazy right now. It's like super sunny out here. I'm outside the airport, but I kind of just wanted to give you guys a sense of what it was like at the Gigafactory. Extremely impressed with what they're doing here, and I think Tesla's pushing forward to have this capacity to build 500,000 of these extremely high power efficiency battery packs per year. And that's a capacity that, when you think of Rivian, when you think of Volkswagen, when you think of Porsche, these guys all have to go through the pain of building out all of this stuff that Tesla's already done the hard work. And what's even amazing is the pace of innovation. Like I think when we talk about the vehicle production line that's going to go into China, the battery manufacturing line that's going to happen in China, like this is going to be Gen 2, and like the squish thing in the thing that combines all of these rows of cells that now they have the robotic engineer do, the robotic Groman machine do, that's only on one line. So this is just a microcosm of, even though this, like the advances in Tesla's technology are happening so fast, we haven't seen them actually been rolled out to every production line, but they're there. And so I don't know, I kind of left this tour being more confident than ever in Tesla's battery technology, more excited than ever for their battery investing day, to see when they really take the veil off and we can make sense of what's going on here, because I think Tesla has pioneered this new type of lithium ion battery. They were the first mover to do it. They've been iterating on versions and versions of building this actual pack and modules, and that's allowed them to have these skills that are, I don't know, it's crazy. I've just been like, it's one thing to see the Gigafactory, it's one thing to talk about the biggest building in the world, but it's another thing when you're there in person. And I'm like, I'm a shareholder, and I'm like, man, this is so cool. Like, I literally own a piece of this massive factory that's pumping out like the most high efficient battery packs in the world. Like, it's awesome. So obviously, I ask about Maxwell, I asked what I could, but they can't tell me much because they don't want to say anything they're not supposed to. So a lot of this, so I will say, just like with Tesla's Autonomy Day, Model Y, they're expanding. They want to build battery capacity for Model Y. They're getting that ready. If you guys have questions, also let me know. Cobalt melt. I do think they're going to get moved more vertically integrated into mining, but I don't think for cobalt, because I think they're making battery chemistries that won't need cobalt. So yeah, but anyway, the point is, the asset of the Gigafactory is incredible, and I think if you're talking to Apple, you're talking to Volkswagen, you're talking to Google, you're talking to Amazon and Rivian, any of these companies who want to put hundreds of thousands of EVs on the road, who want to make a dent in this market, they're going to have to build out basically a facility like this, and Tesla is doing the cutting edge stuff to be the cheapest, to be the best at this building the actual battery pack, which is the most limiting factor in terms of supply for the EV. Not only that, but all these other car companies are outsourcing this to LG and LG Chem, and it's to me it's ridiculous that it's like, imagine Porsche or BMW not even building the engine for their car. It's ridiculous. And so I think, yeah. Any other questions? Oh, last thing I want to say on the Battery Investor Day. So the Autonomy Investor Day was fascinating because they really took the hood off the technology to prove the point of, like, we are ahead here. This is what we're working on. This is the cutting edge stuff. And I think that's exactly what they're going to do for the Battery Investor Day. And I think, you, if you're watching the channel, and me, probably know that, like, yes, Tesla's the best battery tech. They're the most efficient. They have the best powertrain. They have the best, overall pack in terms of range and efficiency, all that stuff. But I think the general market doesn't get that, and they think it's very easy to replicate what Tesla's done, and it's frankly very commoditized, or that's what the perception is, when that's not the case at all. So I think just like the narrative with Tesla's autonomy thesis was, oh, they're way behind Waymo, Tesla's not doing anything in autonomy towards weight. Every Waymo engineer is saying Tesla's ahead, LiDAR's not needed, we're seeing the rapid iteration in autopilot, and I think now it's sort of a foregone conclusion that Tesla's a leader in that space. I think the same thing is about to happen with this battery technology, where people are going to start to appreciate just how far ahead Tesla is. Yes, I did see wild horses. It feels like the Wild West out here. It's epic. Like, literally, like, there's wild horses roaming around the Gigafactory. I did get some footage outside the Gigafactory, so I'll try and put that in. And anyway, if you have any more questions, let me know. I'm probably going to sign off, but I'm going to make a more concrete video about what's going on at the Gigafactory. But gist of it is, extremely impressed. I think Tesla is using cutting edge technology in robotics and manufacturing to build the most efficient battery packs in the world. They're constantly improving at an extremely rapid clip. I think this is a huge, huge competitive advantage the company has, the Gigafactory here in Nevada. Q3 video analysis. I'm going to make a video about the delivery numbers, going into depth with some charts there, so don't worry about that. I also have an epic hyper chat with the CEO of Arcimoto that I'm about to edit. Thank you so much for the super chat. Who is that? Jesse. I will keep doing it. Really appreciate it. Didn't see a Model Y there. Damn, thank you so much for the super chat, Adama. Anyway, if you guys have any more questions, comments, or you're watching this not live, leave it below, and I'll try and answer them in my full video about the Gigafactory, which is coming. So stay tuned. Anyway, I'll see you guys next time. This is Hyperchange. Peace.